Whoa! So I watched the SpongeBob movie, and that is such a good movie. That is the best movie ever made. Because um, and I watched it in my own language in Nederlands, and and I think it's so awesome because in SpongeBob it's a kids movie, but you still have, they're going to the dark, deep part of the ocean, and there you have all these terrible creature monsters, but they actually seem to be very nice because they are, you know. But you have like these tough guys that you normally wouldn't see in SpongeBob, and terrible creatures, and well, not really terrible. They're really nice. They don't like, okay, whatever. Oh, never mind. So that you go to a dark place. You go to a dark place where all these adult things are happening that you don't really see in SpongeBob normally. And then they there's this big guy. It's called Dennis, and he's also someone that has lived a past of violence, and he's some kind of thug but he's very sophisticated. But he comes after them. He has this boots. He's a killer, and so it's this whole underworld that is all in the world of SpongeBob that you just don't see. And then they go to the surface and they meet David Hasselhoff. That means that everything in Knight Rider and in Baywatch is all real in the world of SpongeBob. Even the whole everything as that David Hasselhoff did is all real in the world of SpongeBob. But you don't really see that. But all these dangerous things that are happening in the underworld are probably all real in SpongeBob. And that's so cool. Okay. Um, that is why SpongeBob is one of my favorite books ever. Okay. Your mind has opened up to new possibilities. The fourth perk slot is now unlocked. No! 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 Oh, I mean, yeah! Yes, yes, I mean, yes! Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Yeah, yes, yes, okay, I can do this. Oh, yes! Oh, 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 oh. Ik ben zo blij dat er een poppetje is die nagel bijt. Dwight Fairfield. Dwight was geeky and scrawny through high school. He always wanted to be one of the cool kids, but somehow never had the charisma. He tried out for the football team, but was cut. The basketball team didn't even take a look, and his grades were distinctly below average. One weekend on a team building exercise from his dead-end job, Dwight's boss led them deep into the woods before breaking out his family recipe moonshine. Dwight remembered taking the first sip before waking up late the next morning all alone. During the night, the others had abandoned him. Once again, the laughing stock of the community, Dwight tried to hike his first way out of the woods. That was the last anyone ever heard of Dwight Fairfield. Oh, I like him. I really like him. I want to play like him from the beginning to the end. I'm very loyal, so I he might be very loyal too, you know. You don't know what he thinks about, you know, why didn't he make it? Why was he always cut? Those are the things. Does it mean he did something wrong? He he probably wasn't told about the rules. I know a lot about the rules of life. I know one thing, you know, he took a sip from family moonshine and he woke up alone. I know things about that. I know if you go to a place and you take the free peppermint, the place doesn't like you as much. So he took something without giving. If you go to a place and you snort everyone's speed, the place is not gonna like you. So that's a big problem. You hear this in songs a lot, in riddles. You know that you don't really know that the songs are speaking to you, but in the end, I can see it back everywhere. So someone gives you speed. Next time you come there again, you take speed again from the table, and you don't really give it or something, because you think the world is individual. It doesn't. Nothing's really connected, but everything's connected to what I do. So next time I'm gonna go to a place where there's speed. I will not take. I will have to give 10 times more than I receive. That is what I learned. And that sounds like this guy too, because he's just not told what life really is. That's just like me. And he bites snails. So that also makes it feel like he's sort of like me. I will never play another character than him in this game. I wish there's more nail biting things. But you know what? I'm happy with this one. It makes this one extra special. There's just all these rules that you just cannot know because you are born. Because, like, I don't know, if I'm born, how do I know that I should not listen to everything my mother says? Because when I'm born, I'm always with my grandmother, right? She makes me laugh in a lot of the times. So if she says something like strippers with big titties that would always leave you, those are things. Then why should I then remember that that is the real thing where I should separate myself? How do I know? No, okay. Okay, that never happened. But I don't know, like, I don't know. My grandmother used to tell, like, don't do your voice too loud. That is ordinaire. Or, that's what my grandmother said. Or when I'm speaking about something on the street and I was having fun, she was like, keep your voice down. People might hear us. I was like, what? But, like those type of things, when you want to get out of your shell, but you trust your grandmother, so you think like, oh, okay, you know. Those type of things, like when, because you're born, you don't know this, so your personality gets suppressed in a way. You shouldn't be rude or brutal, you shouldn't be a brute from Fallout, but, just a little bit to like have a little bit of playroom with your voice when people just always tell you like, come on, don't be like that. That is like rude and ordinary. But I didn't say anything rude. I did not really say something foul mouth. I always, the only reason, like with my grandmother or my mother, when I'm foul mouth is when they try to suppress something, when I'm trying to say something good, but then, then I'm really rude. But if it's because I still had to learn the way to deal with it. I didn't have that knowledge to talk to my mom when, you know, like your mom's always supposed to not listen to you in some kind of way when you're young. Or your mom, like when you're young, your mom always, something you told her and, you have to tell her again and you have to tell her again and maybe some time passes, you have to tell her again. But when you don't know, you have to do it like 7 or 10 times. And the second time, as a child, you might get angry or something, and then in the conversation, she might still not hear everything. So then, then I would get angry when I was little, and then, I'm trying to say something really good, and then I scold at her because and then she just forgets everything that I say. She's like, oh, you cannot swear. You know, that was really frustrating. But you know, those are the type of things. And when you're young, when you're old, when you're like grown up a little bit and you read the right books or something, I paid attention. I paid nothing to just look with my eyes. That's stupid. Um, okay, so then I'm like, oh, there is actually a way without anger to. No. Anger always has to be. You always should be allowed to be angry, but this is the hard thing with your grandmother. And it's like, are you angry at me? If you then answer that question, everything that you said, she's thrown in the garbage bin because it's not about what you're saying and resolving, but it's like, are you angry at me? Please don't be angry at me. But no, just, you know, everything that we just talked about, do you still remember that? You're just looking for cheap way outs. And if I was born like him, there's just those things you don't know. And then you go to a party, there's also things you don't know. That everything is connected to me. And if someone puts speed on table and said, yeah, just take it. My house is your house. He literally said that to you. But you should know that if you do that, the place is gonna like you a little bit less. You have to put 10 times. I have to put 10 times more. So if you know, if I have speed, I'll put it on table for everyone to take. I don't need anything back. And you don't need to be extra nice to me because I gave you speed or something, because I like you and your how you are, you know, yourself. You don't have to be extra nice to me because I like you when you're just like nice at the beginning or something. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. That is how I like it. Maybe I shouldn't talk too much. And so people, no, yeah. Or I should follow the rules of the Black Eyed Peas from the album The End. If I just follow that, maybe things will come good. Interesting.